Hey loves, it's your relationship coach, Janelle, and welcome to another episode of Response and React. Singer Maya at 45 proves marriage isn't the goal. Soft life and self-care first. Sis is fine, fit, thriving, and showing us all that happiness isn't about a ring or kids. It's about peace, self-love, and living on your own terms. Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like and subscribe button, and if you want deeper conversations, journal prompts, and interactive activities to help you date smarter and embrace your own soft life era, join my exclusive
call for a whole year. All of these things.
No, they're
you don't
wondering
hear
how
anything else.
they're wondering how a woman as stunning as you are, that is the object of so many men's desire, and you probably have the pick of the litter, which is another thing that they assume.
Wow.
Yeah, girl, I know.
It's not even my focus, and it never has been.
Mm-hmm.
My mother's an independent thinker. I've witnessed a divorce, between my parents. I've witnessed all kinds of things. My father is a very attractive man. I've witnessed a lot of things. And it's also not been a safe place in my mind as a little girl. So I've always thought a little different. The white wedding dress, I was very fearful of those things. So I looked elsewhere and probably escaped too much in my work and keep going. But also, I think being independent has forced me to show up for myself and obviously family, friends, and this operation, because I have a mission and I have a vision, but it requires me to be gone. And so that's also very much fear-filled, knowing that if I have to be gone 95% of the time and my work calls for me to travel, that must be intimidating. And I also can't show up properly for my significant other. But I'm also now spiritually aligned so much where I know that I'm surrounded by love everywhere I go, right? I'm not seeking, and I know that it will be granted to me in divine time. And I'm not worried about it because my life is full of love, and it comes in so many different forms, not just one person. So I've had to recalibrate my brain and not, I think, govern my life off of this fantasy or illusion that we've all been indoctrinated by or taught by. But when you have a vision as well, and you're fighting for empowerment, and especially for your women coming up, if you plan to be a label and sign young girls, et cetera, and be their protector, it requires you to show up differently and also think differently. So it hasn't been a focal point for me. And this is what it looks like. I'm very happy with myself, but that also required me to strip a lot of things that are expected of me on a specific timeline for the society that we grew up in to have. I'm talking about marriage, I'm talking about kids, and if you don't have it, something's wrong with you, right? But did I desire it? No, not with what I've witnessed, and not with what I've been through.
So,
not to say I won't, and not to say I'm not open.
Absolutely. But you never, what I say to people, having never been married and also never having children, I always say, I never got the memo. So when people talk about this biological clock and it was ticking, or they had familial and societal pressure, I never felt it. Did you? And so you're saying
it's never kicked in for me yet. It hasn't kicked in. I'm like, what is that feeling that I get with puppies? Is that going to happen with babies for me? And it hasn't kicked in yet.
I mean, my puppy's over there. She brings me so much joy.
But I have godchildren. I have nieces. I have nephews. I have
How are you? Years ago, out of a toxic relationship. It was a spiritual situation necessary for me to level up. That's really all it was. And, the music video with the white wedding dress is something that people can digest and understand. And they understand when they see a white wedding dress that, oh, that's marriage. They assume that it's to a man and it was a ceremony, but it was really a spiritual journey for me. I became vegan in that journey. I read the whole Bible in 1 year on an app called BIOY. I did practice celibacy for years, got a Grammy nomination, fully committed to myself. And then I became to see all of the beautiful things and the relationships and the love around me when I started getting better, when I started healing and taking myself more seriously, being more cautious in certain areas, and then just giving myself all the love that I needed um, to, first of all, overcome what I'd been through,
Yeah.
and then to be better and evolve and not speak about it publicly, but kind of deal with it in silence and just hold on to dear faith and watch before my very own eyes my life blossom. So that's a real true story for me. And a lot of people don't understand it because, the clickbait titles and whatnot, but it was a really necessary thing for me to do so that I was better connected to my highest self and God, and more aware of certain energies that also are attracted to your light. So we all kind of go through it, but that was a for me. Yeah.
Let's jump into my favorite part of all of the content I post on YouTube, and that's just my thoughts, where I get to kind of express what I feel about whatever we have read or gone over. So let's get into it. The singer Maya was recently on Melissa Ford's podcast. So, for those who aren't familiar, I'm sure much of my audience is. Maya came out in the late 90s and early 2000s. And I think that she definitely was on path to blow up. And, she just probably didn't decide to kiss the ring and do some things that were against her morals and boundaries in the industry. So she was kind of sidelined, but she's a very talented woman, and she is now 45. And if you know Melissa Ford, she was on the Joe Budden podcast, but she has her own podcast now. But she was what was referred to a video vixen of the early 2000s. Amazing body, beautiful woman, and she still looks amazing. Now, both of these women are sitting on the podcast, and both are not married and child free. And Maya, who is 45 at this time, is saying that was never a priority for her. And I love that, because too many women have been told that marriage needs to be a part of their game plan. Let me rephrase that. We have been socialized to that. And I love that she didn't make it a priority. Me personally, I realized probably around when I was 30, marriage is not a priority. Marriage is not a goal. Marriage is a life event. If and when it happens to the right person, that's great. If it doesn't happen, that's okay too. And shifting my mindset around that was transformational for me. And I really appreciate other celebrities out here, especially beautiful and strong and successful Black women, saying the same thing. Hey, it was never a priority. My health was a priority. I know Maya is vegan. I know Maya, you can see she's always been in amazing shape from when she came out and she was 18, 19 years old till now at 45. She has maintained a very high level of fitness, health, and wellness. She also, I believe, is professionally trained as a dancer from childhood. So she is doing what's best for her. And she still goes around and she's on concerts and she's on tours, etc. She is doing what she wants to do, and that's beautiful. I have not seen, surprisingly, too many men's responses, because a lot of men are befuddled by the fact that this woman that would be considered their preference, she's light skinned, has a nice body, all the things. She hasn't hit a wall, all of the incel red pill garbage talking points. She isn't a multi-tiered baby mama, let's say. She has not made those decisions. What she said, it is not a priority. And another thing that she said that I think is very important is it was based upon her parents were divorced. They got divorced. So she saw the interactions there. She also saw her father cheating, I believe. So a lot of women, myself included, who had come from married parents, my parents are still married, 53, 54 years in the game of marriage, not together, of marriage, seeing that, and my dad, love him. He's a great guy. He's very calm, very logical person. But seeing the level of expectation and work that he put on my mother and still puts on my mother, it made marriage very unattractive to me. Not that I'm against marriage. I believe marriage is a beautiful thing when it's two people who have done their own amount of maturing and self-work and self-healing and all the things, and they decide to come together to partner in life. I think marriage is a beautiful thing when you have two people who are doing it from the right place, a healthy and healed place. And that's what I, of course, work with my clients to achieve. But anyway, Maya saying that it wasn't a priority and that childhood events and basically things she observed had a huge impact on that, her decision to be married or not, was a lot of women's, or is a lot of women's stories. So let me know your thoughts about this. If you think that it's crazy that Maya never made this a priority and that, she should look at getting married, or your view on it. And if you are married, let me know in the comments about what made you decide to do it, especially if you got married a little later in life. Let's say, I don't even want to say later in life, after the age of 30, because I'm curious to know, what was the deciding factor that this person was your person. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Response and React. Singer Maya at 45 proves marriage isn't the goal. Soft life and self-care first. Maya's journey is a reminder that fulfillment doesn't come from checking off society's boxes. It comes from creating your own definition of happiness, peace, and success. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I always love hearing your perspectives. And if you're ready to go deeper and start redefining love and success on your own terms, join my exclusive coffee community. Inside, you'll find thoughtful questions, journal prompts, and interactive activities that will help you release the pressures of timelines, date with intention, and fully step into your soft life era. For those who want more personalized support, the links for one-on-one coaching are below. Until next time, this is your relationship coach, Janelle, reminding you your life,